I wanted to mention, to me, the two most important things that I noticed in the news this week. The first of them is the third jab. It's starting in Ontario. They're rolling it out on Monday. We had the NDP in Saskatchewan already starting the narrative. They want to change the definition of fully vaccinated. This is very good news, actually, because what this means is our numbers are about to swell again. We're going to have a lot of unvaxxed people joining us because people have had enough. The second item that I saw this week that's very, very important for Alberta, MLA, the member of the Legislative Assembly, Mr. Todd Loewen. He is one of a couple, him and Drew Barnes, who left the UCP party several months ago for refusing to go along with the tyranny of Jason Kenney. He made a video this week after the state of emergency expired. It expired on Wednesday, December 15th. He made a video describing what this means for Alberta. I suggest you go. We posted it up on Calgary Freedom Central. It's on YouTube, Telegram, and Facebook. And to me, the three most important lines from his video, I'm just going to read for you today. He said, "This is not a government operating democratically. This is not a government accountable to the people or the law. We have to resist the undemocratic impulses of this deeply unaccountable government." Now, we all know this, but this is very, very powerful words from a member, an elected member of our legislature. And he may not be saying it directly, but he's really confirming what we all know. Jason Kenney, Dina Hinshaw, and the entire UCP cabinet, they are committing treason. I've said it before, and we have to keep pushing this. This is treason. They're using smoke and mirrors and narratives and all sorts of lies and deception to make you believe that they have unlimited and indefinite dictatorial powers. This is an assault on our democracy. And when that happens, it's the job of us, the people, to step up and put an end to this. We supposedly hired these people. It's our job to fire them now. The thing that one of the driving forces of this rally is just to create clarity of vision. And Canadians and Albertans, we need to see and understand that we are the government. We are the rulers of this country, of this province. We hire people, elected representatives, to do a job that we're not willing to do or that we're not able to do, and that is it. They work for us. They do not rule over us. So anybody like Jason Kenney who tries to take over and break the law, we set parameters, and our ancestors have set parameters and rules to protect against this very thing. And when they come in and they try to take over our country like this, that is a crime. It is a crime against this nation. And it's our job to remove them. They have to go. The game is over, guys. There's no state of emergency, meaning all of these mandates are not valid. They never were valid. They're not valid now. So I encourage everybody over the next couple weeks to make the effort to visit the restaurants, visit the stores, visit the malls, everywhere you can without your mask, and talk to people, talk to managers, talk to business owners. And it's our job now to let them know that none of this is legal. Not only are these mandates not valid and not legal, but anybody trying to enforce them is in fact also breaking the law, and we have to inform them of this. So, we're gonna move on. We have 4 really great speakers here today. As you know, we have Constable Brian Dennison. We're gonna have him up as well today. But first, we're going to start out with the lady here named Lydia. She was just recently let go from her job at Alberta Health Services. Please welcome Lydia.
Hi guys. It's very nice to be here with you with such a beautiful souls. Every individual is equal before and under the law and has the right to the equal protection and equal benefit of the law without discrimination. Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedom, Section 15. This is on Canadian $10 bill. Government does not respect that as well our employers. My brothers and sisters, I am here today to tell you my story. I'm physiotherapy assistant with 21 years experience in healthcare. Every day I woke up and I was happy to go to work. Not because of Alberta Health Services employer, but because of my patients who I was taking care of. I was putting my heart and soul into patients' care. I'm very successful in lymphedema care. The most beautiful words from my patients: thank you. What are you doing for me? I feel like a new person. Lydia, you changed my life. So on December 13th, Alberta Health Services sent me on LOA, no pay, after 21 years because I did not comply and I will not. On December 13th, I attended to work. Two of my managers called for security to remove me from premises. Both managers' action was so disgraceful, but their excuse was, we follow orders from the top. So now my question is, and I'm asking myself, if they would get order to kill me, would they?
That building behind
Everything
you is a bunch of murderers.
I did record, and you can watch all this situation on Stand Up Canada. Alberta Health Services and all managers has been following unlawful orders, having no respect to Constitution, human rights, Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedom, and Nuremberg Code. Shame on them. After 21 years of service, they treated me like criminal. And Alberta Health Services thinks that justice will never reach them. Oh no, justice will come and they will be removed. Our endurance wins. Our rights wins. Because Nuremberg Code is coming. It's just around the corner. Be ready, fascists. Isn't it a beautiful coincidence today that on December 13th, 36 years ago in my country, in Poland, martial law was declared. And right now, I'm standing in front of you, fighting for our freedom and our kids' freedom. Brothers and sisters, never give up. Trust your heart. Have faith. We are the light holders. We are doing it for our kids. We must stand up for our kids. We must protect them. Doesn't matter how difficult and how long it takes. God created us and did not promise it will be easy. And the end, I want to read something for you, brothers and sisters. It was written by one of Kennedy's brothers. My faith is in God, and I'm totally in peace, knowing it's all under control. Every last bit of swamp sludge is going to come out. Every last bit of swamp sludge is going to live in hell. It's happening even when you can't see it. And I have an announcement. On December 21st at 9 a.m. Mountain Time, the global meditation takes place to connect all light holders. Please do not forget. Thank you very much. Be strong.
Thank you, Lydia. All right, next up. Who here saw the video this week made by the fired WestJet employees? That was pretty powerful, wasn't it? Well, they're here today, and we have one of them who's going to come up and speak with you. So please welcome Wendy.
Where's my husband? She really got me. How about you? Very, very scary times that we're living in right now. I'm really going to try and stay on track. I don't want to read everything that's on here. I just want to stay on track. Oh, okay, sorry. So I was an at-home contact center worker for WestJet. I never came to the office. I worked at home. I was a threat to nobody, and I was terminated on December 1st. For refusing to bend the knee to my then overlord and savior, the executive team at WestJet. So yes, some of you may have seen the little video that we put together. Thank you so much, Ryan. It brought me to tears. I had no idea that what we were doing could be made into something that was so incredible. I stood in front of those doors at WestJet during the filming of that, and I got really emotional because on my very first day, I was so proud and so excited to start working for this company that I had flown with for so many years. And their staff had always treated me and my family, and I've been flying with my kids since they were in diapers. They're now 22 and 27, and they always treated us with respect and dignity, and they helped us, and they were the kindest, most generous people I'd ever met, and now I was one of them. I worked my ass off for those people. I worked till 2 or 3 in the morning to start in the contact center. I moved over to guest support, where I tolerated being called all kinds of disgusting names and having death wished on me and my family. And I defended them to those people. I then moved over to rewards. So if you're a gold or platinum member standing in this crowd right now, you may have talked to me on that line. And I loved taking care of your business and helping you and your family and booking several companion vouchers over and over and helping just regular flyers understand the rewards program. And I worked a ton of overtime in that department as well. And then I took the cut when it was time, when COVID hit, and said, yeah, I'll step out. Put me on furlough, that's fine. It's all the best for the company. And then they recalled me, and I was so excited to go back. And then 2 weeks into training, we got the notice that you're gonna have to be vaccinated. That's what our Prime Minister is saying. And I reached out to my manager and I said, what's the point in training me? Like, you know my stance on this. I'm not getting vaccinated. So if this is gonna be required for an at-home worker, Tell me now and save yourself some money. No, got no answer on it. No, it'll be fine, it'll be fine, it'll be fine. Then September 8th came, and we were told, unless you do this, you're gonna be fired. Absolutely. I did not answer the survey, and I was harassed. Yeah, freedom! I was harassed daily by different managers, and finally by the Executive Vice President, Mark Porter, stating that there would be discipline and action against me if I did not reply to this survey. I'm with you on that. Thank you. I know. I still didn't reply because there's only two answers, yes or no. And I didn't have an answer for my truth. So I just didn't answer it. Then I got a humiliating follow-up meeting where I was made out to be like I was stupid because I was asked 17 times, did you know what that survey meant? Did you know what this did to the company when you didn't answer? So fine. I sent in my notarized and registered letters, 3 of them, before I was then ignored and put on unpaid leave as of November 1st. I was cut off from my job, I was cut off from my livelihood, and there was no answer to any of these requests that I had put forth. So when my manager reached out to me on November 30th to tell me that we needed to meet, and I'm sure I knew what she was talking about, I ignored that. I also ignored the meeting request the next morning that said we will be meeting at 2:30 today. No, we won't, actually. I'm going to ignore that as well. And then on December 1st, I ignored my termination letter. And then on December 16th, I ignored the request for the overpayment on the bonus they gave me and I did not ask for to send them a check. They're getting the same answers that I got. Wow. So, I just, where is it? Yeah, right? Here's what I want to finish with. I do need to unfollow our Prime Minister because he just boils my blood so bad, but right? There was a comment from someone by the name of Marion that I must thank because I copy and pasted this right here. She's 59 and served in the Canadian Forces for 30 years. So vaccinations are almost a way of life, but those vaccinations were tested before use, so there was trust in them. Did you know that science has not isolated COVID or SARS-2 virus yet? True story. So my first red light was, if they haven't isolated this virus, how can they create a vaccine for it? Second red light was, why are they not allowing alternative treatments for this? And why are they fighting those treatments that have proven to work? Third red light, if you're vaccinated and content with that, why is the government forcing people to get vaccinated? Shouldn't those already vaccinated be safe? Yep. So the gang controlling this have stated, trust the science. Well, I believe in the science, but it is right to doubt. Mercury would still be used as a medicinal treatment if everyone trusted the science. Women would still be taking thalidomide if everyone trusted the science. If you don't know what that is, go look it up, and the results of that is disgusting. These vaccines are not tested, are issued for emergency use only. I could go on about the 2.5 million adverse effects from these vaccines over the past year, as stated by the WHO, or mention the large number of stillbirths, like 13 in a 24-hour period in North Vancouver, or 76 in Ontario. Stillbirths in the UK have increased 800% in the last 12 months. But that's just a coincidence, right? Right. But if people still haven't realized this isn't about our health and safety after 2 years, we're in big trouble. How is not allowing a part of society into a restaurant or a movie theater, or dare I say a grocery store, a correct course of action? If I walk into a restaurant, I'm supposed to wear a mask but can take it off when I sit down? Don't you find that weird? Add in the fact that these vaccinated can still contract and transmit this virus makes things even more ludicrous. Finally, do you know that the average age of death in Canada is 82.6 years and that the average death from COVID is 83.7? That's some food for thought. Segregating society has nothing to do with the virus. It has everything to do with government overreach. And to add to that and end off with, if you've never studied history, I highly recommend that you do. The path this government and our beloved Canada is headed down is a dark and dangerous one. All right, yes. Take that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, can I have a hand? Because that is very slippery. Thank you. Thank you. That's slippery. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Wendy, WestJet. Okay, next up, we have a man who worked for 24 years for Calgary Police Services. And he's the first of hopefully many who's decided to step up and to call on our law enforcement across this country to do their job. Please welcome Constable Brian Dennison.
Thank you very much. Wow, I just want to thank you guys for standing up, especially you guys have given me the courage to do this as well. And hopefully more of my police friends that are around here will do the same. And I mean Chief Neufeld as well. So yesterday, I got some really interesting news that I was being tyrannically muzzled by the police service. I was given direct orders written that I cannot speak to you, and also that I cannot partake in anything online about the police service or their COVID-19 policy, which is unlawful. I decided I was going to sleep on that because that's a direct order written from high up the ladder. So I did. I slept on it. I gave it a good prayer to God about what's going to happen. So this morning, unfortunately, I turned in my resignation because I cannot abide by what they are doing. Their orders are wrong. This government orders are wrong. Do not listen to them. They are unlawful as well. Some people might want to know why I resigned when I said that I was not going to retire early. Well, I can't fight from within anymore. They are muzzling me and I am not allowed to do this being a police officer. So from now on, I'm no longer Officer Brian Dennison. I am Brian Dennison, just like the rest of you. The chief, the police commission, the chief, the police commission, and the mayor are all wrong. We cannot continue to allow them to control our lives. We have a constitution in this country of ours, and that constitution is the supreme law of our country. We have charter of rights and freedoms, and they are breaking them all. A little fact that you might find really interesting, in 1982, when our Charter of Rights and Freedoms was signed in, guess who did that? Pierre Elliott Trudeau. Who is taking away our rights? Justin Trudeau. We cannot allow that to continue to happen. The more people that speak up, the better.
Yes.
Courage.
I've been speaking out about this from the very beginning. It wasn't just when I put up that video. It's been for a long time, but I have been working within the realms of the police service, not able to do a whole lot except break their policies, which they went after me for. But that's it. That's as far as they could go, because what I'm saying is the truth. The correlations are there, what has happened in history, and is happening again. And we cannot allow that to continue. I have done nothing unethical as a police officer in speaking up. There is no way that they will force me to get vaccinated with an experimental drug. So them threatening me to not be able to speak with you gave me the strength to carry on. So this isn't the end of me. This isn't the end of me speaking up. And this isn't the end of me supporting all of you and everybody else in this country. Don't be fearful. Don't be fearful of what they can do, because they can do nothing. You have all the power. They work for you. If we don't want them, you vote them out. You put pressure on them. We do not want them. They are not the leaders that we need. So let me be clear about CPS. They don't own me. And they don't own what I put in my body. So I will not work for them. And the government doesn't own you. They can't tell you what to put in your body either. And they can't tell you that you have to lose your job over it. All of that is illegal, and we must continue to stand up. So remember, the government works for you. Really? I don't know, they're not working too well right now. So I just want to let you know that I'm not going to be disappearing. I'm not going to be standing down from this tyrannical behavior that everyone's doing. And I don't want any of you to either. Continue to tell two friends, and they'll tell two friends, and they'll tell two friends. We need more like us to stand up. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. That man should not be up here alone. That's not acceptable. So, as a Calgarian, and I believe most of you will agree here, we call on all of our police officers in this city to stand with us, to stop enforcing illegal mandates and make it very clear that you do not enforce illegal mandates. And I also wanted to remind the officers of something Brian said in his video a couple weeks ago. He said, if you think you got your 2 shots and that you're done with it, you're only fooling yourself. And this is verified this week with the announcements of the third jabs rolling out across Canada. You're only fooling yourselves. This is for everybody. And I wanted to mention before we get to our final speaker, because it is clear we're in a war, ladies and gentlemen. Our government is waging war on us, and there are many rules of war, but the two I think most obvious and important things to know when you're in war is, number one, to know your enemy. So we've Todd Lowen this week telling us that we have a government that does not respect the rule of law. He's telling us who our enemy is. We have the mayor, the fake mayor of this city yesterday on the radio. In her own words, we had her say, and because she was talking, she's upset that the state of emergency is gone. And she said it's bonkers. These are her words. It is bonkers that the unvaccinated people are allowed to do whatever they want. Know your enemy. Brian mentioned the police commission. The head of the police commission is City Councillor John Carlo Carra, who called Brian Dennison a racist for comparing what's going on to 1930s Germany. Know your enemy. And the second fundamental rule of law of war is strike when the enemy is weak. They do not have a fake state of emergency to hide behind any longer. They are more exposed and more vulnerable right now than they have ever been in the last 2 years. So now is the time to push harder than ever. We are not going to allow this to continue into another year, into 2022. Who here wants 2022 to look different from 2021? Well, we can do it. This is it. We're going to do it right here in Alberta. So we have one more speaker, and then we have a few announcements. We have a gentleman, he's a teacher, who wants to speak with you. Please welcome to the stage, Michael.
You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for being here. And I just want to say another thank you, because I've also been in a situation where I'm the only one in my family that's on board and awake. So it's been really nice to connect with all of you here and get some more perspectives. We're all different, but when we all come together in love, that's what changes things. And the world needs more love. So give yourself a pat on the back and a hug to the person next to you. And just thank you so much for being here. I'll give a hug to myself, yes. We can all pat ourselves on the back because we're doing amazing. So I actually just finished my teaching degree this year, so in April 2021. And even about a year before then, I was starting to feel like things weren't quite right, like maybe I wasn't in the right place. And I love teaching and working with kids, but it wasn't a good fit for me. And I had a very interesting experience in a practicum in my last year. Does it sound okay? Yeah? Okay. I had a very interesting experience at my practicum because I was with someone who was very much not aware. And when I expressed to him that I don't wear a mask in public, he thought that maybe I should no longer be a practicum student unless I agreed to do that on my own time. So that was a very interesting perspective, and I was really blessed to have that, because I know that there's a lot of things that I got to see in the school system from being there and even in the university that aren't quite right, that I want to change. And one of the things that I've been doing as I've been coming to these rallies and connecting with people here is finding people that are on the same page and for our children. There are so many incredible people here that are fighting for our freedoms and bringing up lawsuits and taking a stand within companies my stance is also to create something new, because what I foresee is many people, as they start to fall off the wagon one by one and figure out what's going on, are going to need a place to come to. They're going to need places to come to for schooling. They're going to need people to come to for their money. They're going to need people to come to for their health. We're going to need lots of healing in the new year. They're going to need lots of people to come to for spiritual support, friendship, community, you name it. Anything that people have taken for granted, they're going to need it. And so I would just like to tell you a little bit about what I've been doing. I am a certified Alberta teacher. I never ended up going into the school system. When I ended up submitting all of my documents, I decided to turn down the offer. And that was before all of the vaccine mandates came out. You know, I had asked them if I could get a mask exemption, and I never heard anything back. And I decided even if I got a mask exemption, I didn't want to be there. I'd rather create something better. Thank you. So I thought, well, you know, I'll probably create a learning pod or create a foundation or something like that, but I don't know what to do. I mean, I'm 24, I just got out of school, so what do? I started tutoring, and it was kind of fun. Going to people's houses and teaching math. And I'm a trombone player, by the way, and part-time blacksmith, so I didn't expect to be teaching math. But yeah, so I've been doing a little bit of tutoring, and I started connecting with different people. And last November, I don't know if you could raise your hands, how many of you were on the Zoom call we did where we had a whole bunch of Alberta Learning Pod people or Calgary Learning Pod people that were showing what they did? I don't see a lot of hands, but I wanted to let you know in January, and I'll be posting the link in the chat for Calgary Freedom Central, we will be doing another Zoom call to let you know what the options are for your children if you're looking for something different outside the school system. So Freedom Teachers is one. That is a learning pod system with certified Alberta teachers. It's basically a tutoring pod, homeschooling pod, and I will be working with them in January. So we're actually going to start having classes in January. And obviously it's very much in support of your freedom. So that's one option. I know if Starla is here, she does one called the I Learn Fast Tutoring Group. And they do their own lesson plans. They're going to have a lot more things going on around the city. They do also things like survival skills, and they were doing pumpkin decorating at Halloween, which was cool. And it's all tied into school program and curriculum. And the great thing about school is that, even though we follow curriculum, you can create your own curriculum. So it's about community, and we decided what's right for everyone. And then Monica Truong, some of you probably know her. She was running for when we had the elections. I think I see, is that a hand over there? Is that Monica? Yes, hi Monica. So Monica also has her own group called the Dandelion Collective, and it's not certified teachers, but she has so many opportunities if you want to come and take a class or teach a class if you didn't make it through school and you're looking for an opportunity to teach, or you want to have your kids there. There's a lot of beautiful things that she's doing. We also have someone by the name of Michael on Telegram, not myself, people were asking, but not me, who has created different Telegram groups all across Canada for parents that want to connect and make their own learning pods. If you want to find a homeschooling pod for someone in your area, I know a lot of people don't live in Calgary, so if you're in a different area or that, you want to connect. And then the other one that reached out to me and wanted to speak was from, what was the name of it? I think it's Alberta Educators for Human Rights. Does that sound right? Yeah. Yeah, okay. So they were on board, and they are offering rights for teachers and ways to fight, but they're also looking in the future to be able to offer scholarships for children to attend the kinds of programs we're doing, because we understand that homeschooling and paying these expenses is not necessarily something that everyone is able to do at this time. So that's where this is going. So this isn't to sell it, but I just wanted to bring this to your attention. If you know it, or you're interested, or anyone else is interested in it, and to spread the word within this community, that's what I've been working on. And if you could come talk to me at the end if you want, but I will be posting the link for the Zoom session in January, date to be announced, under the Calgary Freedom Central Telegram group. So that's about it, and I wanted to wrap it up. So just before we head into the protest, or the walk, I just wanted to have you join with me, if you feel inclined, if it resonates with you. And I learned this from someone, and sometimes I like to just take my hands and I like to send love into the world. We give love to the world, and then you ask for something in return. So if it feels right for you, I want you to just join with me right now. And I've got a mic, so I'm gonna use one hand, but you take your two hands from your heart, and you're just going to give love to the world. and then you ask for whatever you like in return. Maybe we want to receive more love in return. Maybe we want to receive freedom in return. Maybe we want to give more truth into the world. But whatever it is that you would like to receive, I ask that you give something from your heart as well before the protest. And, you know, we changed the weather. Coming together really does work, setting the intention. So go out there and keep shining, and let's bring more love into the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Michael. So yeah, there's a lot of school pods and community schools. I'm working with the Dandelion one actually, so feel free to share those on Calgary Freedom Central, because we are also creating parallel systems here. Tomorrow, there's a couple over here. If you want to talk to them, Cash, right in the middle with the purple coat, they're having a Freedom Christmas Market tomorrow in South Calgary from 2:30 to 4:30 p.m. So just speak to him if you want the location. They're gonna have over 35 vendors. They're gonna have Santa. They're gonna have live musicians, raffles, lots of goodies there. Do your Christmas shopping. Support the community instead of going to the malls where they're practicing tyranny. I just want some more announcements here. Tomorrow at the Seaton YMCA at 2:30. Sorry, the market tomorrow is from 2 to 8 p.m. Tomorrow, the YMCA Seaton is 2:30 to 4:30 p.m. The Freedom to Play group is going to be there to protest vaccine mandates for children in sports. Okay, so this is also, it's not just a protest. Like I said, we're there to educate people, to let them know that what they are doing is wrong and illegal. Okay, we need to fight and stand up for our children and put an end to this nonsense right now. The next 2 Saturdays fall on Christmas Day and New Year's Day, so we won't be doing rallies, okay? But our next rally will be January 8th, Saturday, January 8th. It most likely will be here, but a lot can happen in 3 weeks, so really please follow Calgary Freedom Central so you don't miss out on any news or announcements, okay? Because something could change for that. There's lots still going on over the next 3 weeks. There are still going to be some gatherings and protests and demonstrations. We're just taking a little gap from the rallies here. And next Sunday, Boxing Day, Pastor Art is hosting a massive Christmas party at City Hall. And he's here to give you a little more info on it because he can sell it better than I can. So here's Pastor Art.
Thank you so much. It's always a joy to be here and see like-minded people. I mean, after all, we are Canadians, free to gather without fear, free to express ourselves without infringement of the totalitarian regime. We are Canadians. When I was hearing this police officer talk, what was coming to my mind was, where are the other police officers? I mean, after all, the blue should stick together, right? And then I was observing while he was sharing, the police officers were talking over there and were not really paying attention. Shame on them. Because today is this man's skin, tomorrow will be their skin. And they do not realize that. What I learned from history is this, that they will never stop. They will keep coming, they will keep stealing until they will ruin everything. So you have police officers over there, and instead of standing in solidarity with their fellow police officer that just got booted out, destroyed his entire career, well, they're keeping their job and a triple job. Well, one day is going to kick their butts, I'm telling you. It's just a matter of when, not if. Your officers, you're next. You're next. Well, the wannabe Prime Minister, Trudeau, with the wannabe Dr. Tom, they came together and this is what they said. They said the caroling is the most dangerous thing during our Christmas celebration. Can you believe it, the level of insanity that those people have? Whatever they're smoking, whatever they're drinking is not working very well for them. If, as a good pastor and a good Christian, I would say to them, stop smoking and stop drinking immediately. It's not serving you very well because it messed your mind so much that you have no idea what you're articulating these days. When I learned that, being me, I mean, if you know me, you know I'm always doing my best to be me. And I said, oh, you devils, you want to stop me from singing to my God? I'll sing double. You're telling me I cannot stop congregating during Christmas celebration. Oh, you little monkeys, I'll do it double. You don't challenge a man like me, you challenge a lion, you will get a lion's response. And by the way, it's Christmas and we have this tradition in my country that even dogs speak human voice, even chihuahuas speak humanly. So I have been assigned a probation officer. And I want to ask you to pray for her. Because I don't know if she will survive this. Every time we talk, she hangs up. And I always thought of myself as a kind of a nice guy. I'm sharing with her what I know, and I'm sharing about the lie. I don't want to talk about this. I'm sharing about the facts and statistics. Oh, I'm not going to have a debate with you. She says, if you come to my office, you must wear a diaper. And I said, sorry, I'm almost 50, I don't wear diapers anymore. Every time we have a conversation, she hangs up. It's very hard for me to educate that lady because our conversations do not last very long. Anyway, so please pray for her soul, that she would survive the COVID craziness. And Pastor Artur Pawlowski. Next Sunday, we're going to have the greatest celebration. Well, after all, it's Christmas. We are not allowed to go to restaurants, just like the Jews in 30s. So, officer, you were right to describe what we're seeing as the repetition of history. That's exactly what was happening to the Jewish people, and later on to the Poles and to the most of the Europeans. At the hands of the totalitarian devils, the Nazis, and later on the communists, the KGB, exactly what they were doing then, they're doing to us today. We're not allowed to go to restaurants, so I say bring your chairs, bring your tables, and let's turn the City Hall into the biggest restaurant in Calgary. But there is more. There are more treats for you, and don't you dare not to come. I had to throw that threat, and it's a very credible threat. I will find you wherever you're hiding. If you don't show up, I don't care if it's minus 20. We're Canadians. We're not snowflakes, right? We are lions. And if you are wondering if it's going to minus 20, they say minus 23. So bring your heaters. Warm clothes. I will tell you what I will bring. I'll bring AAA steaks for every one of you. Free of charge. I will bring some amazing salads. I'll bring some big barbecues, and we're going to be cooking the devil. It's Christmas after all. We will be flipping them. But I have a surprise for you. Here is who is coming to flip those AAA steaks for you, who's going to be flipping the burgers, who's going to come to serve you. The best Canadians I've ever met in my life. Adam Skelly from Adamson Barbecue. Is that not cool? Adam is coming, and he said some fancy English words which I cannot. I can't pronounce that. Forgive me. Some briskets? Is that sounds good? He is bringing his own. He says they're the best on earth. You will be the judges. We'll have Jesse Johnson from Pizza Without Papers. I saw him somewhere here. There you go. He said he's going to be serving you at the barbecues. I mean, after all, those are the heroes, the real heroes of Canada. Then we have Chris Scott from Whistle Stop Cafe. He's coming to serve you as well. Is that not the coolest party in the country? Another thing, if the officer, where is that officer? Where is that brave man? Would you flip some burgers for the people? You sure about that? Okay, and we have the officer flipping the burgers as well. Would that be an amazing slap in the face of the devil? I think so. Also, we're going to have Kevin J. Johnston with a message of Christmas for all of you, and I want you to pray for him. He is in prison right now. For not wearing a muzzle, they gave him like 40 days. Can you imagine our beloved Canada, where the totalitarian regime is sentencing people to prison for not wearing a useless diaper because the virus is 1,000 times smaller than the bacteria. But wear one? Why? Because it's science. Straight from the wannabe Dr. Tom and wannabe Dr. Hinshaw. So, 2 p.m. if you want to come and help, 12 o'clock, Sunday the 26th, here we have the brochures, spread the word around. Let's have 5,000 people at City Hall. And I will make sure I have food for 5,000, the best and the most amazing Canadians that this land has ever seen. So be blessed. 2 p.m. Calgary City Hall, 26th of December. And by the way, be prepared and come and do something that they are terrified of. Sing Christmas carols with me.
Thank you. All right. I forgot one other announcement. This Thursday, Jesse's still doing another parking lot picnic in Inglewood by his old Without Papers Pizza. I heard they were out this week on Thursday in that -20 wind chill blizzard, and you had about 60 people still, didn't you? 100 people. That's amazing. All right, now I'm ashamed. I backed out on that one. All right, so we're gonna get ready for the walk, and we're gonna do the same route we've been doing the last month. And I know some people ask, why do we keep doing the same route? We change it now and then, but it may feel like the same walk to us, but there's different people there every time. And this is the most visible route with the most pedestrians out. This is Calgary. We don't really have a lot of streets right now with bustling full of people, right? I also, though, wanted to tell you, and a lot of you already know, we had a vision back in April of this year, came to us, and we remembered the Red Mile back in 2004 when the Calgary Flames were in the Stanley Cup playoffs, and there were tens of thousands of people on that street, and we thought, why can't we do that for freedom? So that's another reason we keep walking 17th Avenue, because our intention is to rebrand it as the Freedom Mile.